Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Tabi pun. Honorable judges, teachers, ladies and gentlemen, have you heard of the issues of climate change? They are severe environmental problems that are increasing as a result of climate change. Drastic climate change in the condition of the earth, which causes various disasters such as sinking of small island, various fire, flood, melting of the ice, and rising earth temperature. Climate change is caused by an increase in the gases of resulting from human daily activity such as air pollution, electricity consumption, vehicle, excess plastic, and others. The risk of climate change impacts will be related to the adaptation that must be made. An increase in sea level will have impacts on coastal communities that low-lying areas around the world by causing flooding and the loss of small island. Climate change also causes geographic range and migration pattern of terrestrial and marine ecosystem. Indonesia, which is known as a diversity country, has a very complete type of land and ocean ecosystem. Indonesia is a country that is the impact of climate change with more than 17 islands and almost 65% of the population live in coastal areas. The territory of Indonesia is incredible. The increase in causes major change in nature, one of which is the acidification of water. What we know is that the sea may look fine, but do we know that ecosystem trapped under increasingly acidic seawater have a negative impact on marine life, including coral reefs, shellfish, and so on. Same to coastal ecosystem areas also causes indirect impacts in the community, especially people living in the coast. Yes, we know that Indonesia is a place with the highest number of marine ecosystem compared to other countries in the world. They are 2,500 species of mollusks, 2,000 species of coral action, and 6 species of sea turtles, 60 marine mammals, and more than 200,000 species of marine fish. The Sea of Indonesia coral reef mainland, there is nature wealth, and also that we must preserve. If not, we can only remember the marine ecosystem by imagining it, which will affect the audience of our next generation and other problems that would be trouble to imagine. Therefore, we need to reduce the impacts of ocean acidification on the coral reef by monitoring their growth and development of this coral reef. Because coral and symbiotic animals and these plants grow by collecting calcium carbonate from there, we can measure and know the level of marine acid for time to time. So, have you realized this? The first thing we can do to minimize the occurrence of climate change is to process waste so it is not thrown into the sea carelessly. The second thing, we save on excess electricity consumption to reduce the atmosphere on climate change that affect the marine ecosystem. For next, we must reduce the excessive use of private vehicle because the fewer the number of vehicle, the less pollution, and can control the acidification level around with energetic support from the government as policymakers in industry and also society. I'm Elinda Kusuma invite all of you to take care of our marine ecosystem. Start from the small way and join me to protecting the earth with marine ecosystem from our selfish to the impacts of climate change. I believe we can make change because we are agent of change and the future depends on us. Thank you.